The EduTechGuys present a conversation from our live coverage of FETC in Orlando, Florida on Tuesday, January 23rd, 2018. Enjoy the program.
My name's Katie Buckley. I'm a teacher in the Leroy School District in Leroy, Illinois. Heart of Illinois, so dead center. Definitely not Chicago.
Okay.
But I teach, my current placement is high school special ed. So I work in an alternative school.
Yeah.
I also teach a junior high STEM exploratory, so science, technology, engineering, and math.
Okay.
An intro to high school STEM class, and then I run a junior high STEM club and an elementary STEM club.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay, you're awfully busy.
Yes.
What are you doing here? You gotta get back to work.
It was hard to leave. I had to cancel STEM club this week for my elementary and junior high kids, and they were devastated.
I bet.
So yeah.
Awesome. So take us through. Just take it through your normal day.
Well, you probably don't have a normal day,
Well,
but
yeah. My schedule stays the same for the most part. I start with my junior high exploratory at the regular, I guess you say, high school. Then I head out to the alternative school. I teach geometry, first year algebra, second year algebra. Then I head back over to the high school. I teach my high school STEM exploratory. Then I head back to the alternative school, run a geometry class. And then my afternoons are spent as like a flex time because I am a case manager for special ed.
Okay.
I check in on students. I also provide support for teachers in the district that want to implement technology into their classroom but just aren't really sure how.
Sure.
Or I do some hands-on and team teach with some teachers as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So,
go ahead.
STEM exploratory.
That's
Yeah.
exactly what I was going to say.
Tell us about it.
So it's mostly project-based.
Okay.
When I pitched it to the administrators, I said, I'm not teaching these kids anything new. So we're taking the skills that they've already learned and applying them to life. So some of the projects we did a park. We had some open area in our community, and they're putting in a park. And so the kids put together proposals. So looking at what does 5 acres look like?
Yeah.
When we started, kids are like, we're putting in a Major League Baseball team, like big, like roller coasters, water parks. So we had to go look at the area. Yeah, that's not going to work.
Right.
Work with local architects, talk about park planning, something we just don't think about.
Sure.
And how much that costs.
Yeah.
Some other little projects we do, catapults, mechanical hands, hydraulics, that sort of thing, just to fine-tune those science skills that they've already learned.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
So your presentation here
Is on Makerspaces.
Okay.
So 2 years ago, I begged for a place for kids to come and just do.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, I have X, Y, and Z to do, but I just need a space to be creative.
Yeah.
Well, that's how the STEM program evolved. So I have kids that come in and say, hey, I'm doing renewable energy in science class. I need a motor. Okay, here's a motor. Well, how does it work? So then we go through that whole thing, and it's just really cool to see how it evolved and how it works.
You have a really cool job.
Yeah, I do. I'm very, very lucky. And, you think Central Illinois, 3,700 is the size of the town.
Okay.
799 students pre-K-12.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
My district's 2,400, so I understand completely. But yeah, you have a really cool job. You have a great administration that says, yeah, let's do this.
Absolutely.
But they get it that those kids are going to live there, and they need these skills.
Right.
And most of those kids are going to stay there and or come back to there, and so they need those skills, and that's really awesome. That's pretty cool. So let's talk about your involvement with SPED and your involvement with STEM. Do you cross those two? Because that's a great place for SPED kids to get stuff that they're not getting, because autism, you can find a kid that might be autistic, but they might turn out some of the greatest coding in the world, or graphics, or who knows what.
Yeah. So it's interesting because for my high school class, I bring some kids from the alternative school. And when I say alternative, people automatically think bad kids. Like these kids are
They're just kids that don't fit in the normal classroom.
Yeah, we use a square peg, round hole.
Yeah.
Right.
So the kid is a square peg, and they just don't fit in the public school setting. So they come over with me, and having that hands-on component and doing different things where it's not just worksheet-based material seems to really help them. We started off the year talking about coding, and they're like, well, I can't program. I can't do that.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you can. So I introduced them to a coding game, and they're like, oh my gosh, I think I can do this. Yeah. Or I don't know how to run a 3D printer.
Right.
What do you mean you want me to do that? Well, yeah, you can.
Yeah.
So just giving them what they need and just that pat on the back and support. And
those little wins that add up to a big accomplishment.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes you have those students. You have those square pegs that don't fit in those round holes, and even through all this, they're still not going to fit in to that round hole. However, they do find the square hole that they do fit into.
Right.
That's right.
And it's like, I didn't even know this was a thing.
Well, the other square pegs to hang out with.
Yes.
Well, yeah, that's true too. But it's one of those things where talking about the coding. I never believed ever that I could be coding. There's no way. Well, then they start doing it and they go, wait, actually, I can do this, and it's actually kind of fun. I'm having a good time at it. And all of a sudden, you take that student who didn't think they belonged, they didn't think they were going to fit in anywhere, they didn't think they could do anything in some cases, and suddenly they're doing amazing things, and you've changed their entire life just because you introduced them to
That one,
coding or flying a drone or whatever it is that that they get exposed to that they otherwise probably wouldn't have.
It's funny you mentioned that. We just started a unit on drones. I got a grant to buy 3 Phantom 3s.
Oh, wow.
And so obviously we talked about agriculture and how it applies to ag. We also talked to the military, real estate, and they're like, wow, I thought these were just toys.
Toys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I think it's always fun to see a kid's reaction when they learn that, wait, I could get a drone, learn to fly it, learn to do a little programming, some GPS work, and I could get a job. I could be my own business. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, do you know how many realtors want you to come and shoot their house and shoot it from the air? Or I've got to spray this field, and I need that drone to go over it and measure everything, and then I need you to put it in my GPS in my tractor because we're from a rural area, so we know you can't spray a field or seed a field anymore unless you know GPS. And they're hiring people to come out and do that. So, it's great to see that we're learning new entrepreneurial ways to teach our high school kids to get jobs in rural areas like we're little small towns. So
or create jobs that don't exist in that area.
Right.
That's the cool part. So the Makerspace presentation, I'm jumping topics again.
Sure.
So your presentation on Makerspace, take us through what are we gonna? How long is it? Is it an hour, 2 hours?
No, it's only 40 minutes, so
Okay.
it's going to be
Wow.
a fast 40 minutes. We're going to talk about supplies to get started. Some tech. I had 2 carry-ons packed full of tech. TSA wasn't very happy with me when I came through.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
But we made it. So lots of tech toys to play with and look at and kind of figure out maybe this is a good fit, maybe it's not.
Yeah.
And then obviously funding, talking about some good places to get funding and some tricks to the trade.
That's awesome.
So when is your session?
It's Thursday at 4:20.
Cool. You know where? Yeah, I was going to say.
3.
Well, we'll find it. We'll tweet it out.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Well, and you can definitely, and folks that are listening can find it at the FETC.org website and go out into the schedule and find out where that is. So
and we'll put this show back on the air. So
Awesome.
it'll be out there in the wild. So okay. So anything else you want to share with our listeners? Tell us when you get home. How are you finishing out your year?
Oh man. We've got some conferences coming up locally where I get to take kids to present to our legislators to say we need ed tech funding. I don't know. They're really excited about the drones when I get back.
Yeah,
I would be too. I love it.
Well, and it's cold right now,
and
so we're gonna do some flying in the Aux Gym and some stuff with that.
The basic stuff. Get to learn it first.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So yeah,
That's
just
cool.
Grateful for the opportunity to be here and then to be a part of the district and have a lot of support from them.
Well, this is a wonderful conference. I mean, it's so wonderful. We learn. We sit here all day long and talk to people like you, and we learn. You'd be surprised what we learn. We learn a lot of stuff. I mean, this is the best seat in the house right here. Because we get to really. I mean, we learn something from everyone.
Right.
So, and we've learned some stuff from you today. So, thank you. So,
Perfect.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Well, thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
We have a little gift for you.
Yes,
Oh, awesome.
yes.
A little tchotchke.
A little going away present.
yeah.
There you go.
Wear it with pride.
Thank
So
you. Well, thank
you survived the hot seat. There you go. That's your-
So listen, when you finish your session tomorrow, Thursday, if you think of an epiphany on Friday, is something else you want to share, the seat's open, come and see us.
Perfect.
All right,
Yeah.
we'd love to talk to you again.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
keep in
Thanks.
touch.
Very good
Okay,
to meet
thanks.
you. Awesome. That was cool. That's awesome. That is Katie Buckley joining us here. Continued live coverage coming from FETC at the Orange County Convention Center here in Orlando, Florida. And we appreciate her sharing the ton of things that she does. You talk about someone who
that's
has
a job right there.
lot of hats that she's got to wear. Oh my goodness! But absolutely, her passion shows through, and getting to talk to her and having her share her stories with us about the things that she's doing, and that she's doing the Makerspace, doing a Makerspace session on Thursday.
Yeah.
So definitely want to be checking that out. Again, that was Katie Buckley. So awesome.
You've been listening to a recorded conversation from EduTechGuys live coverage of FETC 2018. For more information about EduTechGuys, visit edutechguys.com. And thanks for listening.